All right, good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday, all you out there. I'm gonna take a minute here. We're getting on a little early here, so we're just gonna take a minute, wait to get a few people on. There. How's everybody doing? Thank God it's Friday, weekend, crazy week, right? Just another crazy week. We got a lot that we're gonna cover. Like I said, we're on here a little bit early, so we're just gonna take a minute, get some people on here. If you jump on, share this, leave a comment, let me know where you're at out there in the old interweb lands. Say hello, share it. Wherever you are and wherever or whatever time you're watching this. Some of you jump on the live here. Most of you see this later on in the day or over the weekend. Nonetheless, thank you for tuning in. My name is Adam Bird. If you're new, we are Heroes Media Group. We are celebrating, we're continuing to celebrate our 9th year. Started HMG in the summer of 2015. Been doing this for quite a while. Got a little hair there that's curling. Got a little Jerry curl going on there. Not sure what's going on there. All right. So happy Friday. We're going to get started. It is July, mid July already. And we are continuing on with our birthday celebration this month. And we're getting ready to go on a little bit of a hiatus, just forewarning to all of you. This is going to be our last live feed for the HMG weekly wrap up until beginning of August. I'm going to be out on taking a little bit of a summer break the rest of July. But before we do, we got a lot to discuss and we got a lot of things coming up. And before I get into that, I want to thank all you viewers that tune in every month, every week. Whether you're watching the weekly wrap up or you check out some of the great podcasts that we have here on Heroes Media Group, thank you. We've been doing this now for 9 years, and we could not be here without the support. I certainly would not be doing this if it wasn't for the love and support that I get from you guys, from all the shows that are on the network, both current and those that have been on the network in the past. Also, shout out to all the authors out there that we've worked with. We're working on 2 audio books right now. We've done 8 in the past 5 years. So we're stoked and blessed, and we have a lot of new things that are coming up that I'll get into here shortly. But again, birthday month for us, 9 years. It wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you for the love and support. Seriously. So we got some events coming up. August 3rd, the 6th annual Fallen Heroes Ride and Veterans Appreciation Event. Brought to you in part by Operation Vet Now. If you go to opvetnow.org, you can find out more of the details. It's going to be happening here over in Western Pennsylvania, or central to Western Pennsylvania. I had the great opportunity to speak with Operation Vet Now this week. That episode is going to launch next week. You'll see that. But they have annual Fallen Heroes Ride. So if you're in Southern New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and you want to be a part of this, it's their 6th annual, again, Fallen Heroes Ride and Veteran Appreciation Event. Go to opvetnow.org for more details. Actually, I guess I'm not used to this. This is actually it right here. Those of you that are watching, Greensburg, Pennsylvania is where it's happening. A lot of cool stuff that's going on. And I strongly encourage you guys to check out OpVet Now. Great organization. They actually raise a lot of money for other nonprofit organizations. So it's really, really cool what they're doing. So their 6th annual Fallen Heroes Ride. Check it out. It should be a good time. What else? Podcast movement for all you podcasters out there. Whether you're on the network and you watch this, folks, I've told you guys, those of you, whether you're if you're not on the network and you're a podcaster or you're thinking about starting a podcast, podcast movement is one of the largest podcast events in the world. Come check it out. It's going to be in DC next month, August 19th through the 22nd. I'm going to be there. I know Jerry Dugan from Beyond the Rut will be there as well. Shay Sparks, a lot of our friends and stuff in the podcasting community is going to be down there. So if you're going to be in DC next month for Podcast Movement, hit me up. Let me know so we can get together. Would love to meet up with you. And then we go into September. September, we got the Team Addo All Heroes Open Charity Golf Classic in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's just right outside of Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty, whatever. That's September 13th. If you go to Team Addo, that's addo.org, you can sign up for it now. Then the following week, we'll be in Tampa. Yours truly, I'll be in Tampa again this year. The 8th annual Heroes Welcome Ball is going to be September 20th in Tampa, Florida. This is such a great event, raises money for transitioning veterans. Team Addo has their suit up events that they do. And this is one of the suits here that you see, or one of the jackets rather. Custom made to measure suits, jackets, tuxedos, shirts, ties for men and women. So check it out, Team Addo. That's teamaddo.org. Would love to see you at the Welcome Ball on September 20th. It's going to be a great time. And then on September 21st, very next day, the All Heroes Open Charity Fishing Tournament. It's a great time. I think last year they took out like 300 veterans out on boats. They get all these boat captains and stuff from around the Tampa area that come in. It's such a huge event. It's a blast. Make sure you guys check it out. Annette, good morning to you. Appreciate you jumping on. Thank you. What else? We're hiring here. So it's been it's been a week here at HMG, a week of growth, I should say. And with when you are in a growing spurt and you're changing things, as a business owner, it can get frustrating sometimes. At the same time, it's very exciting. So right now, what we're looking for, I'm looking for IT people. I'm looking for website design and developers, and I'm looking for a part-time assistant. If this fits your niche, or you know somebody that does website designs or that can build websites, or somebody that is a would be interested in a part-time assistant position, please have them email their resume to info at heroesmediagroup.com. It's info at heroesmediagroup, all one word, .com. In the subject line, put job. And yeah, we'll see if we can't work something out. I'll be setting up interviews early to mid August for these positions. We got a lot of things that are coming up to wrap up the rest of this year and moving into 2025. So again, we're hiring, we're growing. This is a great, most people that have been on here that I think would say that they enjoy working with us and whatnot. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited about the vision and what we have planned moving into the rest of this year and into the beginning of next year. So if you're an IT person, you know IT stuff, or you got you're a website developer, designer, let me know. And then if you're looking for a part-time, if you can handle like emails, answer phone calls, just some small stuff like that, email me your resume, info at heroesmediagroup.com, subject line job. All right. What else? We got a new show. I'm excited to bring out a new show. I'm going to actually bring this up now instead of later. New show coming to the network. We have a couple, but this is the latest one that's coming. It's called the Strategic Veteran Podcast, hosted by Adam Peters, great veteran, Army veteran. Excited to have him come on board mid-August. So here in a few weeks, you're going to start seeing more of his stuff. on HMG. I had the opportunity to be on his show recently. That episode is going to come out in several weeks. You'll hear more about that when the time comes. But help us welcome the Strategic Veteran Podcast to the HMG family. And like I said, we're growing, and it's awesome. It's a good time to be part of this. All right, let's move on. Some headlines. Uh, let's get into the headlines, and then we're going to get into the shows. I'll do a little bit of a recap. So, some of the headlines. This first one actually, I lied. First one is actually kind of an older headline. This one was about 3 weeks old, but I brought this up because it's stirring up a lot of social media controversy right now. And the title, there's been several titles of it. This particular one that I liked, Ukraine is a gold mine, says U.S. Senator. Anybody have a idea which senator said that? Well, I'm going to tell you. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham acknowledged. Hey, morning, Ken. Appreciate you, brother. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, and there's these videos going out about Lindsey Graham sharing how Ukrainians possess critical materials in their country worth between 10 and 12 trillion. Lindsey Graham quotes, "I do not want to hand over these assets to Putin to share with China," end quote. I thought that was pretty interesting that they cut that out. Now, if you go in and you watch the whole interview on this, it was pretty interesting. But that was, I think that's a very key point to this, because now you can kind of tie in some of the things why we've sent so much assets over, and why we've given Ukraine so much money, right? Also, this isn't in here, but since I'm talking about it, I did see something in the last 48 hours, something along the lines of Ukraine is going to start flying the F-16. I think it's the C model. Don't quote me on which model it is, but we've given them a bunch of F-16. I think it's the C model now, where they're going to start uh, flying in their airspace and against Russia as well. So I thought it was interesting. Now it's, truth be told, of why we're sending so much money over to Ukraine. Maybe, not saying that's the case. Look this stuff up. But that was an older one, and I thought it's been hit. I've seen that video all over the place in the past week. So I thought it was interesting. Next up, House passes the SAVE Act. House of Representatives passed the SAVE Act, a bill requiring proof of citizenship for voting in federal elections. The bill passed the House in a 221 to 198 vote, with all but 5 Democrats voting against the measure. Ahead of the vote, House Speaker Mike Johnson said the SAVE Act would be one of the most important votes that members of this chamber will ever take in their entire careers. Okay. Later on in this particular article, there was pulling from different articles here, but never thought we would have to actually address, but that moment has come now. Should Americans and Americans alone determine the outcome of American elections? So I think that's a reasonable question, right? Or should we allow foreigners and illegal aliens to decide who sits in the White House and in the People's House and in the Senate? What are you guys' thoughts on that? See, I kind of play devil's advocate with this one a little bit. Like, should you have an ID to vote? That's just a question I'm gonna add. Go ahead and leave your answer if you're willing to. And if you do leave an answer and you don't agree with somebody else's, be respectful. That's all I'm asking. So, even if the SAVE Act passes the majority Democrat Senate, the Biden administration said, quote, "We strongly oppose the bill." Not surprised. Not surprised. What do we have here? VFW, Stone River Post. Well, good morning to you guys. July 27th, August 1st, National Convention in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm just going to miss you guys. I'll be driving through there next week. July 19th, grand opening of Heroes Den and VFW Post. Okay, nice. Andrew, I'm assuming that's you, Andrew. Send me more. What do we got here for comments? Excuse me. Annette, yes, ID should be necessary. Ken, we never should have had. Look, we'll throw these up here. Yes, ID should be necessary. Okay, good. Yeah, no foreign influence. I think the argument is going to be, though, Ken, is that how often has the U.S. interfered in foreign foreign elections? I bet people bring that up. And that same thing. No foreigners should be allowed to vote. Yeah, just like I just stated, I think somebody's going to bring it up, other than myself. Just sorry. All right, let's move on. Next one. China. Haven't talked about them in a couple of weeks. China conducts military training near U.S. base in Europe. Should this be alarming? China is holding military training in Belarus near a U.S. Army base. Now, to be clear, it's about 300 miles away from an army post in Poland. And that was reported by the Daily Caller. Andrea, good morning. Patriot Pride, appreciate you jumping on. According to Chinese state media, the Chinese People's Liberation Army and the Belarus armed forces will conduct training jointly. The training aims to enhance training levels and coordination capabilities of the participating troops, as well as deepen practical cooperation between the armies of the two countries. Safe to say, I get it. I just thought it was interesting that China's in the news and they're around a U.S. base in Europe. Okay, well, speaking of China, report exposes Chinese surveillance base in Cuba. Like I said that, Cuba? Okay. Cuba. China is reportedly constructing a new military spy base, according to the Wall Street Journal, which shared information originally published by the Center of Strategic and International Studies. Yeah. Former U.S. officials have warned that China may use Cuba's proximity to the United States to, quote, scoop up sensitive electronic communications from American military bases, space launch facilities, and military and commercial shipping, end quote. Now, this is coming from the Wall Street Journal. This shouldn't be a surprise to people. This has happened. China has gone in. In fact, a spokesperson for the Florida base, Southcom, told Newsweek that it's aware of China may use commercial and diplomatic presence for military purposes, and China's been known to do this, and they're doing it all over the country in Asia, Africa, the Middle East. They've already abused commercial agreements at host country ports for military aims. Should this be a concern? Yes, it should. Will they use weather balloons? Probably not. Probably won't see the weather balloon thing again. Just saying. But there are satellite images of an alleged Chinese sites located about 70 miles from the U.S. naval base at Guantanamo Bay. So things are heating up in the South again. Annette, wasn't there so yeah, this was not in the United States, Annette, but close, very close. Next up, I wasn't going to do this one, but I feel like I should. Nearly 1.8 million chickens to be culled in Colorado over bird flu. The governor declared a state of emergency due to bird flu. I had a smart ass remark for this. Something along the lines of, can they just put those birds aside for a couple of weeks? And yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Another this more chickens, and this was after like 4 million chickens in Iowa were slaughtered because of bird flu. Was it last month or 2 months ago? I bring this up because this is a direct attack on our food chain supply. We need to really start paying attention to this stuff, folks. What's happening? Prices of meat, whether it's beef, chicken, and so on, is going up. And they're going to start feeding more and more of that 3D printed fake meat crap. Don't don't fall into that, please. Do not fall into that stuff. Uh let's finish on a good note. Let's finish on a good note. Jeremy, yeah. Yeah, chicken bit. Yeah. Let's finish these on a good note. California. You're like, "Adam, I thought we were finishing on a good note. Why are you bringing up California?" California. Andrea, yes, buy local, know where you great point, Andrea. Thank you for bringing that. I'm going to put that up here. I, thank you for bringing this up. Back to the food real quick. Talk to your local ranchers and farmers. If you got local farmers in your area and you can buy, your eggs from and your meat chicken from, um, I've been working with some local ranchers out here on the East Coast. One particular in southern Pennsylvania, where every year I get about a half a cow, purchase a half a cow, and that lasts just over a year uh, for me. We've got ranchers, local farmers for our eggs, our honey. um, and you would think it's more expensive, but when you really sit down and you break down what you pay at the store and how much you pay at the store every each year, and then going to your local uh farmers market or the local farmer or rancher themselves personally, you save a bunch of money. I saved a ton of money last year buying beef from the rancher. Plus, you're supporting a local business. One, two, um, I was asking questions. I went in and I asked questions. I had my friend AJ Richards from the Farm IO. Go check that out. I asked him like, "Hey, what should I be asking these ranchers and farmers? What to use? What are they using? What type of feed, et cetera, et cetera." So by doing that, you don't know what you're getting at the store. That's the point that I'm making. It says something on a package, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's bullshit. I'm sorry, I said it, but that's what it is. Get it from your local ranch. Support local farmers and ranchers, and let's put our foot down together and take back our food supply, because they're trying to destroy it. They're trying to destroy you. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Start putting the puzzle pieces together. I've said it enough over the course of the year that you could see headlines. You just got to look for them. You can see what's going on. What do we have here? Let me catch up to what you guys are saying here. Riverbed Ranch as well. Good. Good. Yeah. I'm glad, Annette, Andrea, Ken, I'm glad you guys are looking at local farmers. It's great. That's what we should be doing. Thank you, all of you, for making those comments. Last up, let's do the last one real quick. Ended on a good note. Like I said, California. I'm going to talk about California, and it's a positive thing. California to require financial literacy courses in their schools. I know. I couldn't believe it either. But California has become the 26th state that requires high school students to take a financial literacy course. Although the course will not be offered until the 27-28 school year, students graduating high school in 2030-31 school year will be the first class with uh, those requirements. Now, I said there's 25 other states that have done this. I'm going to get into that here in a second. But the bill, AB 2927, talks about the standalone one semester course in personal finance that's prohibited from being combined with any other course to the graduation requirement commencing with pupils graduating in the 2030-31 school year. Now, the cost to implement this course could be up to almost $200 million a year, according to Senate Appropriations Committee analysts. Does that seem high on that, or am I just? I guess you really got to deep dive and look into more of what is involved when they're teaching that. But the analysts explain, assuming a salary range of 100,000 to 150,000, including benefits, for one credentialed teacher at each of the state's 1,300 high schools. Okay, well, that just answered my question right there. The Proposition 98 general fund cost would be 130 million to 195 million a year if they had one teacher with those credentials in the 1,300 high schools. That's that's interesting for a curriculum. But here's the thing: it's also California, right, Andrea? I knew I was going to get a comment from you. Uh, you got, I think it's cost of living, Andrea. It's the cost of living ties in with that. Like I said, there's 25 other states that do it. I did not put them down. I do remember Minnesota was one, Pennsylvania's one, Alabama, Mississippi, Wisconsin, and a slew of others. But those are the ones that I just remembered off the top of my head that require that. So interesting. I think that's a good thing. I think more schools should be teaching financial literacy. Now, the question is how are they teaching that class, and what exactly are they teaching? Um, And Andrew says, yes, it would be a good class to make mandatory. I think it is. I think it's a class that's definitely needed. I wish we would have had that when I was younger. Um, and got into detail. And the one thing I did read in another article on this, you guys can look it up. It was something along the lines of what they're teaching. And it was about investing, saving money, that kind of a thing. So I'm curious to see what they're really teaching, or I would like to see maybe them bring in some experts on it as well. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was cool, so I thought I'd share that. We're gonna end the headlines uh, with that one there. All right, let's move on. Let's get into some of the shows this week. We've got a lot of shows. Did episodes this week. Homefront Sit Rep podcast. These guys are machines. They're doing shows several nights a week. Their latest one last night, Operation Vets with Nets. Their goal is to open doors to active duty and retired service members, as well as veterans with various disabilities, including those bound in wheelchairs, to the world of fishing. They're introducing people to fishing. I can certainly get behind this, being an avid angler myself. What they do is they provide the means of healing through an all expense paid freshwater fishing adventure. Their trips will focus on catching catfish as well as stripers. This was a pretty cool episode. Go check it out. Homefront Sit Rep Podcast. And like I said, they do several shows Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night. And a belated happy birthday to Homefront Sit Rep founder, David Wells. Looking forward to seeing you next week, brother. Happy birthday. Let me see here. Andrea, I'm not even I got it. I got it. No worries. No worries. Next up, the professional rule breaker. This week, Stoy Hall, the incredible CEO and founder of Black Mammoth. Stoy's journey is amazing. He's an ex-football player who built an orphanage and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. But what really hit home for him was seeing Tanzanian women sweeping their mud floors. This experience completely changed his view on wealth and life. In this episode, they're going to discuss how Stoy shifted his mindset from focusing on money to valuing experiences and how you can do the same. They also discuss the importance of having a team you can rely on, and while delegating tasks can be a game changer for your business. Amen to that. It's called the Professional Rule Breaker. Go check it out. Folks, real quick, don't forget, you can check out all the shows right here at Heroes Media Group. Simply go to heroesmediagroup.com, click on podcast. You'll see all the podcast shows that I'm talking about here. Senior Living Guy, they got a new episode coming out next week. Stay tuned for that. Patriots Inside the Wire. Gold Star Mother they do a couple shows a week too. Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays. Right now, their latest one this week, USMC veteran Danny Cardra, hope I said his name right, tells his childhood how music always was there through how late in life he really started playing the guitar. But that's not how it started. Great episode this week, Wednesday night. This was Wednesday night. Go check it out. It's called Patriots Inside the Wire. Bump in the Road is the next. Bump in the Road. This week, Whitney Prude, Finding Promise and Purpose. Throughout this episode, Whitney's tenacity shines through. Her insights on self-love, emotional resilience, and the power of choice offer listeners a roadmap for navigating their own bumps in the road. Let me tell you, I got to listen to this episode. It's going to pull on the heartstrings. It's kind of like the first part of it is just like, wow, I can't believe that happened. But then it switches over and it's got a good ending to it. So, Bump in the Road, check it out. Next up, we got the Arms Room Show. Arms Room Show every Monday, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's Arizona. This week, they're discussing guerrilla medicine concepts for when there is no higher level of care available. Everybody should be watching and listening to this show. You learn so much life skills, whether it's how to shoot a weapon properly, how to shoot a handgun or a rifle properly, to medicine concepts, dirt medicine, or as they say here, guerrilla medicine. This is an OG show of HMG. They've been with us since before day one. Glenn, Drew, and the entire crew over at the Arms Room Show have done a fantastic job. And if you ever get the opportunity to train with them, their company is called Independence Training. Go check them out. They're in like 30 states. I think they're growing even more now. They train all over the country. Get into some of their training classes. Trust me, you'll be happy that you did. Guerrilla medicine concepts for when there's no higher level of care available. Check it out. It's the Arms Room Show. Next up, the Misfit Nation podcast. They do several episodes a week as well. I love these shows. U.S. Army veteran Eric Herrera. Eric shares his journey of resilience and courage, starting with his decision to join the Army despite opposition. Through hardships, including physical and emotional challenges, Eric's story unfolds with themes of friendships, politics, loss, and love. From basic training to deployment in Iraq, Eric shares his bond forged with his fellow soldiers and the realities of serving in a war zone. This is a great episode. Check it out. It's the Misfit Nation podcast. Love it. Next up, we got the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. They also, People's Patriot Project, they also do a couple shows a week. I believe Monday nights they do their weekly brief, and then they got WP3 Radio as well. This past weekend on Sunday was they had James on, who served his country in the Air Force, but did not feel he had good direction. And when he got out, lo and behold, meat became the thing that opened the door, and he created a path for his passion with cooking and sharing. Pretty cool. And then also they have a buddy of ours, Chris Turner, comes into the house to catch up on what's been going on with Mr. Turner. And Mr. Turner has been a busy man. Great musician and American. So check it out. Andrea, absolutely. You do the same, dear. Appreciate you. Next up, other side of the firewall. Why the S in CISO? Did I say that right? Ryan, I know you watch every now and then. Like, is that right? Is becoming a scapegoat. Conversation discusses the increasing scrutiny of CISO by the government after a major breach. It highlights the challenges faced, including being the fall guy for branches and lacking decision-making power in the C-suite community. The importance of communication, collaboration, and documentation is emphasized as a way for CISOs to protect themselves. The conversation also touches on the brain drain in the cybersecurity industry, with experienced CISOs leaving. This is a big deal, and I can't. I learned so much about IT from this show, and I still don't know a damn thing. I know when you read it and you start listening to these shows and these episodes, they do a show every day, Monday through Friday. They're very consumable. They're about probably 12 to 20 minutes long. And you'll learn a lot, and it really starts to open up your eyes and start looking at everything else that's going on. So go check it out. It's called The Other Side of the Firewall. Next up, we got Every Man's Odyssey. This week, how to be a better dad. This week, they discussed the challenges and values of being a better dad. They break it down into 3 categories. 1, an assessment of our current strengths and weaknesses as fathers. 2, identify the target of who we should be as dads. 3, practical advice on how to achieve the target. They're going to explore the 4 pillars of Stoic principles: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and how they all can guide fathers in their journey. I think that's pretty interesting. Check it out. Every Man's Odyssey. I knew Ryan was going to jump on. I love Ryan. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother, because I spent 20 minutes trying to figure out this morning. Next up, the Joel Evans Show. This week, Wendy Sher Meadows, a recovering divorce attorney and best-selling author of Sparkle and Grit. They dive deep into the causes of divorce, effective communication, and strategies for thriving through life challenges. What you're going to learn in this episode this week. Just a few topics I want to cover here real quick. How communication breakdowns often lead to divorce and ways to prevent it. The financial and emotional costs of divorce and how to minimize them. The power of conscious co-parenting and in safeguarding children's well-being. These are all amazing things. There's a few other things as well. You're going to tune into the show to find out what they are. It's called the Joel Evans Show. This was an amazing episode, and I think a lot of us can relate to it. AJ, I was talking about you earlier, brother. Appreciate you jumping on. Uh, those of you that have been through divorce and whatnot can certainly relate to this. Great episode. It's called the Joel Evans Show. Check it out. Next up, our man Jerry from Beyond the Rut. He really peels back a layer in this episode. He opens up about the whirlwind of 2023 and why his podcast has seen fewer episodes this year. Let me jump back here real quick. Jerry, if you ever get the opportunity to talk with Jerry Dugan from Beyond the Rut, he's such an amazing individual. He's a lovable guy, and he's got a heart of gold. He's absolutely amazing. He talks about life has been a series of unexpected turns, and he wants to share the importance of taking a break to recognize and find clarity. Sometimes stepping back is the most valuable move that we can make to propel forward. And this resonated with me so much, especially this week and everything going on, which is why we're taking a break here the rest of July, starting next week. So, but great episode this week is called Beyond the Rut. Check it out. Next up, I love this show. Label Free podcast with our gal Deanna. Deanna is a phenom in women's podcasting and just in business. She raises the bar for so many people. Label Free podcast this week. Emilio Rivera, known for his roles in Sons of Anarchy and the Mayans MC. They discuss Emilio's experience playing controversial roles, transitioning from tough guy image to stand-up comedy, and his diverse acting career. Really cool episode. I loved it because I was a fan of both series. Label Free podcast. Check it out. Next up, we got our man over at Because Bikers Matter podcast. Host David, aka Vegas Schumann, visits Eagle Rider. Sorry, Eagle Rider in Chicago, and sits down with special guest Lisa Patricia, who oversees the riding gear and products at that location. They highlight some of the popular items available there at Eagle Rider, including the exclusive Route 66 signature helmet. This is really cool. And next time I go through, I'm going to try to stop by. I want to see this. They talk about the rides that they do from iconic landmarks from Chicago all the way out to Santa Monica. This is a really cool episode. Check it out. Because Bikers Matter podcast. Next up, we got MSEC podcast, Military Child Education Coalition. Resilience is often described as our ability to bounce back after being faced with challenges. Our military connected youth live in a highly mobile lifestyle. Ain't that the truth? And developing resiliency skills can assist in navigating the unique challenges of the military life. This week, Dr. Rachel Milston and Stacy Fredrickson discusses programs that provide opportunities for youth to build such skills. Military Child Education Coalition is a nonprofit organization. So if you are a veteran, active duty, guard, or reserve, and you have children in the home that are still going to school, this is a great organization to follow because they have a ton of resources for you. Go to militarychild.org for more information. Next up, last but not least, we got Chasing Happiness podcast. This week, he's got the amazing Amanda Curry joining. This episode, Amanda reveals the top 3 struggles moms face today and offers 7 powerful methods to cultivate self-acceptance, connect deeply with oneself, and find peace amidst the chaos. Some of the takeaways is embrace radical self-acceptance and understand its impact on your life. Also, discover the top struggles moms face and how to overcome them. That is chasing happiness. Check it out. A lot of stuff going on, guys. A lot of stuff going on. Let me do a shout out real quick, pay some bills here. And then I want to talk again about some of the events coming up because I think it's important. Veterans PCS, go check them out. My Tax Fella, great organization, bookkeeping, need your taxes done. Anthony's been with us since day one for 9 years. So thank you, Anthony, and the team over at My Tax Fella. Forget Genetics, another a veteran-owned organization for all you hunters out there. Great product. Forget Genetics. Go check them out. ForgetGenetics.com. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. I say it every time. Listen, if you're riding motorcycles, these guys need to be on your speed dial. Go check it out. Home Studio Mastery with our man Janaid. Go check him out. The Freedom People. Thank you. Sisu Stamina. Excuse me. And the Universal Learning Approach. Go check them out. And of course, our friend, dear friends, I'm looking forward. I'm actually going down to see them today. Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle and Warriors on the Water LTD. Go check them out, especially if you're in the southern Pennsylvania or northern Maryland area and you want a place to go fish. Go look up Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle. Have a great time. Warriors on the Water LTD, another great nonprofit organization taking veterans and first responders out fishing. And Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle, they do bass tournaments every month, like one Saturday a month, I believe it is. And it's a good time. Go check it out. Team Addo, I love it. And their other company that they work with, JB Auto Clothiers. JB Auto Clothiers, get a suit made, custom made, measured to you, whether you're male, female, you want a jacket, you want a full blown suit, you want a tuxedo, you want a custom shirt, maybe you need a custom tie. Hit us up. Check us out. And then last but not least, our sister company, HMG Beverage. You can go to hmgbeverage.com, order your coffee today, or go to hmgcoffee.com. All right. Back to, I want to highlight this one more time. August 3rd, that's just a couple weeks away. Operation Vet Now. It's going to be happening over on the other side. It's like just outside of Pittsburgh, so about an hour outside of Pittsburgh. I think this is like Pittsburgh, Central PA area. Fallen Heroes Ride, Veterans Appreciation Event, August 3rd. So if you're interested, go check them out. Go to opvetnow.org to check it out. And again, guys, we're hiring. I need IT people. I need a website person that would like to redo some websites. I got a couple of them that need to be redone. And then looking for a part-time assistant. If you know somebody or you yourself are interested, send me your resume, info@heroesmediagroup.com, subject line job, and then let me know what it is that you're looking for. I'll be setting up interviews beginning to mid August because we got a lot going on. Thank you all for everybody that's jumped on and that supports, that leaves the comments. Please share this so we can reach a larger audience. We got a lot of things that I'm working on for the second half of this year, and we're already working on stuff for the beginning first quarter of next year. I could not do this without you guys, and the fact that this month marks 9 years of doing this has been phenomenal. I mean, it's amazing, and I would not be able to do this without all of you out there that tune in each and every week, all of the shows that are part of the network, both currently and in the past, and the authors and stuff that we get to work with. So, if you know somebody that has a podcast and they're looking for a platform to grow, send them our way. Let's get them a part of the HMG family. AJ, thank you, brother. Appreciate your love and support. Longtime friend, and AJ's got shows on HMG as well. Yeah, if or maybe you're out there and you're interested in starting a podcast, give me a shout. Let's set up a phone call and let's get you started. Folks, this is the last live that I'm going to be doing for this month of July. I'm going to be taking some time off, the next 2 weeks off. I might do something next week. I'm not sure, but I'm going out to Fort Knox next week for an event. Um, and then after that, I'm taking a week off to go see family, to take care of some family things, and to spend some much needed time fishing in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. Thank you, Ken. And again, listen, guys, I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. I can't tell you, words can't express what it truly means to have all of you on this journey with me. And I hope that we can, 9 years, hopefully we're just starting. Hopefully we got many, many, many decades to come. So help make that possible. Share this, get people involved, tell people about our mission and what it is that we're doing. And if there's something that you guys want to see, let me know. Send me an email, direct message us on any one of the platforms, and I'll take it into consideration. And let's talk about it. Get outside this weekend. I know Mother Nature around here has been bipolar. It's been very, very hot and humid out here in the 90s, and then this morning it rained just out of the blue. So it's been great. But put the phones down, shut the computers off. I challenge you all to get outside uh, and do something constructive outside. Get outside this weekend. Remember, don't believe everything you hear or see on mainstream media, and the stuff that I tell you, the stuff that I covered this earlier in the show. Look this stuff up if it's something that sparks your interest. All right. God bless you. God bless America. Again, thank you all for being here. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good weekend.